New place, still gotta wet my damn whistle. What's poppin' all you maniacally musty Mario Kart meatheads? It's your boy Shottyflo, and I know, it's been a while, I apologize, but I've been moving and looking for work, which has taken up the bulk of my time. Nonetheless, I'm coming at you with part 5 of the Mario Kart Ultimate Roster Reveal, the series where I talk about characters from all across the Mario universe and give my reasoning as to why they might be a good fit for Mario Kart. In the last episode, we introduced 7 goobers from the Galaxy Pack, which featured characters like Honey Queen and the legendary Bamboo. Like I said, this is part 5, so I've left a link in the description and a card in the top right to the whole playlist if you don't want anything spoiled for you. Let's get into it and talk about what pack we're unveiling today. You've seen the Jungle Pack. You've experienced the Trooper Pack. You've bathed in the glory of the Sunshine Pack and danced among the stars in the Galaxy Pack. But have you experienced a true adventure yet? Have you indulged in the legendary story Homer told of Odysseus? Not yet, you haven't. So let me paint you the picture of the Odyssey Pack. The first driver of the Odyssey Pack is, you know him, you love him, you wear him on your head, and he becomes a symbiotic parasite, leeching your life force away with every wahoo, yippee, and oh! Of course, I'm talking about Cappy. People are gonna start getting mad at me for adding too many ghost characters. Be mad at Nintendo! Cappy is of course Mario's main ally in Super Mario Odyssey, a goated game that I really need to play through again. Cappy is also one of the driving plot points in the game because he and Mario are on a joint quest to save their loved ones. Princess Peach, duh, and Cappy's little sister, Tiara. Sometimes I forget this shit is for little kids, man. It's too big! I couldn't hold on any longer! Cappy is a proud bonneter from the Cap Kingdom. No cap. He takes on multiple physical appearances, but for the purpose of Mario Kart, I think it's best that he stays in his natural form with the white top hat or whatever. I have a couple different ideas for what Nintendo could do with him, actually. For different skins, Cappy could be wearing different hats from Super Mario Odyssey. I think that might be a fun way to add some player expression to the game and would make him a little bit more interesting. My other idea, and you might not like this, is to have his skins be different characters wearing Cappy. Think about it. Cappy isn't featured in many other games yet, with his only references being in Super Mario Run for mobile devices and Smash Ultimate where he can be worn as a hat on the Mii's. Kind of like how I just suggested, actually. He may not be popular yet, but that can perhaps be attributed to the fact that there haven't been too many titles released after Super Mario Odyssey yet. Maybe on the next generation Nintendo console, we'll get Super Mario Odyssey 2 and Mario Kart 9. He's a shoo-in if that happens, right? Moving on. Alright, next up we got the obscure one of this video. Now, I'm sure you have some ideas as to who from Mario Odyssey you might want to see in Mario Kart. Like Poochie, we got Dog, Sphinx, don't forget about Uncle Amiibo, Fork Person, and we got Snail Person, and no list would truly be complete without Dinosaur. Well, if you were a real forker, then I'm sorry, because the fork people are not joining the Mario Kart roster. It's gonna be my boy, an airborne mount, Glydon. One look at this guy and I just knew he was perfect. According to the Mario Wiki, Glydon is a bipedal, talking, flying lizard who is enthusiastic about flying and gliding. And now it's time for me to make you enthusiastic about Glydon driving. His design is just chef's kiss, perfect. He got the boots, he got the glasses that don't help him with anything, he got the bandana, he just oozing swag. In Super Mario Odyssey, Glydon is known to be traveling to various kingdoms to glide from the highest places. Mario Kart has gliders in high places, all I'm saying. His enthusiasm for speed and thrill-seeking nature leads me to believe that this dude would be pretty solid behind the wheel. Just another way to feel the wind blow beneath your gross webbed skin flaps. I think that Glydon would be a really fun and surprising addition to the roster. He's the perfect size for it. I say we let him glide on in. Next. Alright, here's where I might lose some of you guys because we've got a bit of a fluffle here. A colony, perhaps. A herd, maybe? A nest, if you will. Or a warren. Whatever the fuck that is. My point is that Super Mario Odyssey has a fair few rabbit-type characters, and they happen to be much more notable than 95% of the rest of the characters in that game. I didn't really want to have to do this, but I think given the position I'm in, it would be kind of dishonest not to. Enough stalling, though. The next character of the Mario Kart Ultimate roster is... Bro, what is that music?
Donk is my city. All of my bunnies, they wanna get with me. Running the block with the stick, it get iffy. Got my top spinning, making me dizzy. This shit is brutal, eating you up like a strudel. Drawing my lines like a doodle, timing is crucial. Aiming the glock at your noodle, that's why you don't fuck with the Broodals. Bitch, I am the topper, Showstopper. Cleaning up battalions, I'm calling up a mopper. Stacking up medallions, I'm moving like a spotter while I'm building up battalions and taking out the fodder. Drift swift, flying through turns like water. Stick shift, upper gear, bitch, don't daughter. Spaceship floating on down like otter. Big fist furry, bitch, you get clobbered. Pray on your downfall, I'm a plotter. Calling the ops up, I'm a swatter. Locking you up, Davy Jones locker. Taking your stuff, I'm a grave robber. Rango be pulling up with the chopper. Hariet got the bombs with a shocker. Spewing the pesticide like a potter. Chain chomping your ass like a whopper. I'm moving so quiet, I'm from the dark side where you know shit stay silent. Lighting you up from the sky, triple hat so you know shit stay violent. Spinning in circles, I'm mixing your shit up like a fluffed up spin cycle. Taking your life into my own hands like a bow tie, you dying, bitch. My clientele, they wanna rock for the whole night, don't make it stop. My clientele, they wanna bop from the dark side, but I'm on top. My clientele, keep it on lock, flexing the wrist, ice on the clock. My clientele, facing the block, Rango on chain, ain't it a shock? If you got a problem, go talk to the mad. I'm facing you first like my name's fucking Adam. Leaving the earth I get sent from the strat. I'm stealing your shit like I'm fucking Aladdin. Taking the top off your head like Tiara. Dumping your body in Guadalajara. Taking the Cappy up off of the bar. Keeping the pills in my cap like I'm Parma. Looking so cute in my little green suit. She hop in my cap, take her up to the moon. Bring her aboard and she hang with the brood. Baby, don't worry, the party is soon. Boys under pressure, I'm ruling the kingdom. Protecting my nest from the plumbers and demons. Flexing, I don't need a reason. Securing my clientele, then I'm leaving.
So yeah, Topper and the Broodals is what I was getting at before. We have to talk about the Broodals, and well, I think you've heard enough about Topper, so let's move on to the next horrible hair. Next up is of course Hariet, but let me talk really quickly about what the Broodals actually are and why I've even given them the light of day. So the Broodals are Super Mario Odyssey's secondary antagonists behind Bowser. Hailing from the dark side of the moon, the Broodals are a villainous group of rabbit henchmen who are subordinates of the quote, massive, morbidly fat rabbit in a red dress, Madame Brood. Bowser has hired this group of freaks to plan his wedding, which is why they all look so damn dapper all the time. The trivia on the Mario wiki about them is actually kind of interesting. This one says that their connection to the moon seems to be based on the mythological moon rabbit. I don't fucking know. Another one says that the name Broodal is a triple or even quadruple entendre with the words brood, meaning either a family of young animals or literally to brood and dwell on something unhappily, as well as the words brutal and bridal. Nintendo is sometimes so insanely clever when it comes to naming things, and then other times you get the classic formula of just two of the same word or sound making up half of something's name. Cheap Cheap Beach, Moo Moo Meadows, Dry Dry Ruins. Shit, sometimes it's not even half. Look at Boom Boom and Pom Pom. It's important to note that each Broodal apparently specializes in a certain wedding planning area that conveniently translates to engaging gameplay. Topper was the leader and specialized in client relations, if you didn't catch that, and Hariet is in charge of, oh Jesus, pyrotechnics. Bowser's gender reveal party would probably rewrite the Dead Sea Scrolls and cause the fourth impact. Sorry, I just watched Evangelion. Hariet, being the pyromaniac that she is, apparently has mastered the craft of pyrokinesis and the IED. It's best not to get her mad. No shit. The least predictable of the Broodals, Hariet is most often found throwing bombs with her hair. While it may seem reckless to have filled her hat with bombs, Hariet is devious and keeps a lot of spare explosives with her, so watch out. So yeah, that's pretty much Hariet. She's crazy! Alright, next up we got Django Unsnared, the least threatening bouncer I've ever seen. It's motherfucking Rango, baby. That's right, the lankiest of the Broodals is bouncing into his driver's seat. Rango, the bouncer, is, quote, the best hat handler on the team. M'lady. He's not the most focused, but Rango is a valuable player on the Broodals team, always coming through to the end. They make it sound like he's some kind of clutch fourth quarter player or some shit. A master of his boomeranging trampoline hat. Something that has never been said before. He can throw it both straight and curved with almost unnatural control over the way that it flies. Mario Kart has boomerang. On the other hand, he sometimes zones out a bit and looks confused. Wow, he really just like me for real. Rango is especially funny to me because he's clearly supposed to be southern with his goofy yuck laugh and some of his other mannerisms. The wiki even says he bears a striking resemblance to Goofy from the Disney series. And I guess? Of all the Broodals, I do have to say that Rango is my favorite, and I'd not be happy, but be okay with him being in the game. But that's really about all there is to him. This might be a good time to state that the Broodals haven't found themselves in any titles besides Mario Odyssey, so there isn't a whole lot to talk about without going into the specifics of their mechanics, which I don't really want to do, and they don't really matter anyway. So with that being said, let's move on to our potentially final rabbit of the day. Drum roll! It's MIPS. Hailing from Super Mario 64 and also known as the Yellow Rabbit, MIPS is an iconic character in the Mario Guys, I'm kidding, come on. It's... Oh god, sorry, I almost gagged saying it. It's Spewart. Is the vulgarity all an act? Says the Dark Side brochure about our lovely Spew Boy. The final henchman of the Broodals, not in the order you face them, but in the order I'm talking about, okay, you get it, is going to be Spewart, who is the entertainer of the group. Dressed in blue and missing a neck, Spewart ain't smart, but he sure is strong. Poison is Spewart's specialty, as he literally spews poison when Mario fights him. Spinning around while spitting poison in a wide area, Spewart is the least subtle of the Broodals. Bro, his name's Spewart, so yeah, there's nothing subtle about that. But he also has an unexpected artistic side, as his poisonous ground paintings show. I don't know, it doesn't look that good to me. Spewart's design isn't as off-putting as Topper's egg-shaped looking ass, but I still have to say that this is one ugly rabbit. Can we actually get MIPS back in here instead of this toxic, suited-up nymphomaniac freak of nature? The brutal henchmen, while not being featured in any game since Super Mario Odyssey, fall into a similar category as the Koopalings for me. I don't really want them, but, well, there's no more to that. I just don't really want them. But they do fit comfortably in a cart. Can you really blame me? Finally, we are on to the final driver, and I know what you're thinking. He wouldn't complain about having to put 4 Broodals on the list and then add another one with Madame Brood, and well, all I have to say is that you have no idea what I'm capable of. But you're right. The final driver of the Odyssey pack is Plessie. Look, at least once per episode, we have to take someone and stuff them down into a cart just to make it work. And Plessie is no different, I'm afraid.
Huddy, I shrunk the plesiosaur.
I just realized Plessie isn't in Super Mario Odyssey. Please don't hate me, but this is what I'm going with. Yet another dinosaur for Mario to make friends with. Plessie is its own kind of Odyssey, first appearing in Super Mario 3D World and later Bowser's Fury. I think Nintendo would be quicker to make a Plessie-themed cart than they would be to adding it into the game as a driver, but I actually think that Plessie's design lends itself well to the whole thing we're going for here. Designed after a Nothosaur, which apparently is not a dinosaur, Plessie is a friendly character who lets Mario take a ride on its back at multiple locations within Super Mario 3D World. Apparently, after viewing the credits and returning to the game, Plessie permanently remains as Cat Plessie and can carry up to 3 kittens on its back. I'ma say it. Fuck you if you don't like Plessie. Tasteless rubbish. While it's really similar to Super Mario 64's Dory, Plessie actually has one appearance outside of its native games as a spirit in Smash Ultimate, which of course cements Plessie as a stretch of a pick, but a pretty cool one if I do say so myself. By the way, the spirit lets you stay in water indefinitely. Mario Kart is a game where you can stay in water indefinitely. Well, you Funky Kong fanatics, that's gonna do it for this episode of the Mario Kart Ultimate Roster Reveal. I hope you enjoyed the song and the episode as a whole. Be sure to check out the other episodes if you haven't, as well as the tournament I did to decide who Nintendo would be most likely to choose as the final driver in the Booster Course pack. It means the world to me when you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel. I think by the time this is out, we should be at just about 500 subs, which is fucking awesome. Never thought that we would get this far, to be honest, but I will keep her going as long as I have money to live, which is kind of my current issue. Love you guys nonetheless. Check out my real music at Stoney Brook on Spotify and Apple Music if you want to support me even more. Also, special thanks to Huddy and Davies for the mix mastering, trumpet, flute, and sax. God sent talents. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. Shotty out. Doses, yo.